check, 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need, get over the fear, and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello everybody, Michael Quarles. Welcome to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Today is podcast episode 279, and they look good, these questions I'm staring at. And remember, if you had or have a question, send it to support@michaelquarles.com. One more time, support@michaelquarles.com. Here we go. Question number one. How does your conversation go when you are calling a realtor and asking them to complete a BPO for you? Well, most of the time I'm just going to call the company that we use nationally. Costs us $150. I like the national company because, you know, if I have a staff member hunting for an agent, because I buy houses virtually, although I buy them in my backyard too. But if I have a staff member looking for a realtor in, Timbuktu, well, first of all, they've got to figure out who the realtors are, call around, get the right one, play phone tag, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to spend any difference I would save by going directly to the agent in resource for my transaction coordinator, to find the person to call. So I just like calling nationally. And here's what I have found calling nationally, or calling the company that does it nationally. If they can't find an agent to do a BPO, I don't want to buy the property. So if I can't find an agent to do a BPO in Timbuktu, that tells me that I'm not buying that property because I'm not going to be able to find the buyer. Because, there's a lot more agents than buyers out there. I mean, if you just call the board of realtors and ask them how many agents you have, and they'll go like 3,000 or so. In some areas, they'll go like 10,000, countrywide, million kind of thing. Well, there's a lot more agents in an area than buyers. So if an agent can't be found, a buyer can't be found, so I'm going to kick it to the dirt. Now, that doesn't always mean that I'll utilize the national service. If I already have a relationship with an agent that had done a past BPO and I don't have to find them because I found them before, I've established a relationship. Maybe they listed the last house and they sold it for me, so I have a working relationship with them. I'm not going to cut out the BPO company if I don't have a working relationship with the agent that did the last BPO or a time or two before. But if I have had established a relationship with them, I might call them directly. But otherwise, I'm going to go back to the BPO company. And it's a simple conversation. Hey, go out and do a BPO. I mean, BPO agents are REO agents. An REO agent is an agent that works selling foreclosed properties. So the lenders have REO agents to, they call them up and say, hey, we have another house hitting the market in your area. We need a BPO. I need you to go out there and have someone board it up. I need you to walk it, relock it, that kind of stuff. And those REO agents are just used to doing the BPOs and the relocks and the boarding ups. So I want to utilize those folks. So it's easy to find if I don't have a national company. So just look in your online MLS kind of thing and do a search for REO properties. And it's going to spit you out all the REO listings, and then find the guy or the gal that has the most REOs in your area. And I guess you could find them that way. I'd rather use the national company. Just call them up. Just, hey, you're going to do a lot of business with them. You're going to buy at least a house a month. If you're in my program, I hope you're going to do that. That's a lot of business for them. So yeah, they'll be glad to help you. Question number two, when asking a realtor to complete a BPO and they ask you your purchase price on the home, what do you tell them? It's none of their darn business, because it's not. It's one of the things that just drives me crazy. Realtors and appraisers will want to see the purchase contract so they know the number they have to qualify the property to be worth. That's ridiculous. No, it's worth what it's worth, irrespective of how much I want to pay for it. So no, I'm going to show them that. It's none of their business. I mean, they don't get to look at that on a refi. So I know they know how to figure out a value. So if they can do it on a refi, I bet you they can do it without seeing it on a purchase. And I know a lender's not going to tell an agent who's doing an REO BPO what they think it's worth. They're just saying, hey, go tell us what it's worth. Do your job. Anybody that wants you to help them do their job, they're the wrong person to hire. Plain and simple.
Thanks for listening. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through yellow letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 3. I have noticed by listening to the morning calls that there are a few of us who are in the Bakersfield area. And I'm finishing on my market sheet, and I have selected many of the Bakersfield Zip Codes, and I'm curious, does it make sense for me to be spending money in these zip codes as well? Absolutely. Yes, guys and gals, if you are in a market that has other folks like you, that's a good thing. And here's why. National Association of Realtors, we call them NAR for short, N-A-R. And in my state, California Associations of Realtors, we call them CAR. Texas, it's TAR, and you can get the JAR for Florida. You can get the kind of concept. They spend millions of dollars advertising to prospective home sellers that they are the option or the choice for someone who wants to sell a house. They spend millions of dollars. So we don't have an equal playing field because a consumer may not understand that they can utilize our service. So if 4 of us are advertising to the same folks, and I'm sending a piece of mail a month, and 3 other people are sending a piece of mail a month, well, I know that we're not going to, there's more houses to sell than we can buy, individually, so we're all going to have an opportunity. And I also know that if I was the only one marketing into an area, I would have to spend a lot more money to penetrate the mindset of my prospect. I mean, it's a good thing. Cluster marketing is a really good thing. I mean, cluster marketing, if give you an example of what that means, is, they've already proven this time and time again. If they put 2 gas stations on catty corner to each other or 4 gas stations on each corner, those 4 gas stations collectively will do more business than if only one of them was there. Because they need like-type businesses to tell people, here's your choice, here's where your choice is. Which is the same reason you have shopping centers and malls, and they have car auto malls now. So, cluster marketing works, and we kind of need that. We need that kind of concept in what we do. Great question, though. How should I move forward with this seller? Here's the scenario. I got a call from a seller who said he wanted at least $70,000 for his newly vacant rental, needing less than $15,000 of work. Ouch, that's a lot of work. Using tax appraiser estimates, he said appraisal at 92. My estimate of ARV is 130. Seller was supposed to call me back later in the day about when his daughter could get me into the property, out-of-state owner. But when we got to the phone call again, he said he saw a sell for 160 on 864 square feet house, blah, blah, blah. He definitely wants to sell, does not want to deal with a realtor, and does not want to rent it out again. He just wants to get rid of it outright. No terms or anything. I am a little unsure how to approach the seller since he doesn't want to hear the $70,000 number now and does not want to give another number. What I need most is help with phraseology in speaking with the seller. Well, that's a big old long question for a little simple answer. Here's the deal. There's the first question. Do you have a house you're hoping to sell? The key word on this phrase or question is hoping. Because hoping's like I want that special Christmas present for those of us that celebrate Christmas still. I love Christmas. It's the best season of the year besides my birthday. I like Mother's Day too, but I'm not a mother. I like giving to my wife and my mom. But hoping's a really cool word, and I want them to say yes. So if they say, yes, I do, I say, yes, you do. Terrific. Is your property currently listed with a real estate professional? They must say no. I can say broker or agent if I want, but I like real estate professional. They must say no. If it is, I just kick them to the curb because I'm not going to take a contract with a seller who already has a contract with a realtor or an agent or broker to sell their property. Third question. What do you think it's worth in today's market? If I sent out a professional appraisal to appraise the property, what do you think they'd appraise the property at? They must give me an answer. In this case, if they gave me an answer and then they oscillated and gave me a new answer, that's fine. They just must give me an answer. They have to give me an answer. If they do not give me an answer, I ask them, can they go and drive their neighborhood this weekend, tonight, tomorrow, today, look for properties that are like type, and then call me back with what they think other houses that are like theirs are selling for and what they think theirs might be worth. I don't care what it is. I just want them to give me a value because I can renegotiate with their number. I can't renegotiate with my number. If I give them a number and I say, well, your house is worth $70,000 and it turns out only worth $50,000, well, egg on my face. It's hard for me to renegotiate with myself because I placed value. But if the seller places value and they said 70 and the appraiser comes back and the actual one that I'm going to hire later, the actual appraisal comes back and it's 50, well, I can say, that appraiser that we thought originally, gosh, we should have hired him because the one that we sent out, they only think it's worth 50 and I need to renegotiate. But they have to give us a value. There's no special phraseology. Go find out what you think it's worth and call me back. Here's the deal, folks, guys and gals. Imagine this. I know it's going to paint a scenario for you that's just terrible. But imagine you're skiing and you hit a tree. It's been done before. I've heard this. I don't ski, but I've heard people hit a tree. They put them in the wrong part of the ski slope, apparently. But you're skiing, you hit a tree, you break your arm. Thing's just broken. You can tell it's broken. Doesn't feel good. Do you care where you go? No. Do you care how long your doctor's been out of med school? No. You go to the emergency room with your floppy old arm and you say, my arm's broken, I need to have it set, and you don't care. Well, a motivated seller is much like a guy or gal with a broken arm. They just want to sell their house. They just want it. That's it. The pain is that they need to get rid of is the house. They need to get rid of it, sell it, fix my arm, make my arm feel better. The ones that are going to, I don't want to do that. Can you just give me a price or you sent me a piece of mail? Blah, 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 blah. They're just fact finding. They're learning. They're in the learning stage. I do not want to deal and negotiate with someone in the learning stage. I don't want to be their teacher. I want to be the property buyer because they will not buy from the teacher. They'll buy from someone like me because they've ruined the relationship they had with the teacher because the teacher gave them the wrong information. They were truthful with them. They slapped them across the face, told them they had an ugly baby kind of stuff. And I don't want to be that person. I want to be the guy or the gal, well, the guy in my case. I want to be the guy who solves the problem. And I want them to be in the problem-solving mode, the urgent mode, the motivated mode. Nothing else. Kick them to the curb. Ask them to go find out. Set a time. What time tomorrow would 10 or 2 be better for me to call you back to schedule a time to come out and buy your house after you've determined what the house would appraise for if I sent out a professional appraisal or appraiser? That's it. Question number 5. If we are in escrow to buy a house with the tenant in place, we met the tenant today and found out that the tenant believes she has a lease to own agreement in place with the seller. We asked to see it, but the tenant wouldn't allow us or show us to it. Probably didn't have one. We asked the seller, and he said it was a verbal agreement. See, it's a verbal agreement in real estate. It's a fraudulent real estate contract. And then later said they wrote an agreement up a while ago, but the tenant never signed it. So now he says there's no lease to own agreement in place. How should I proceed? It's real simple. I just got done doing one of these things. Real simple. You tell your title company, this is what could be going on, just so you know, because you always have to disclose what you know. And now that you know, you have to tell your title company, because if you don't tell your title company and you go ahead and buy it and then you get a title policy and all of a sudden this buyer comes back and says, wait a second, I was supposed to be able to buy it. Well, they're not going to help you, the title company, because you weren't honest with them. You didn't disclose. The second thing you do, have the seller evict them. Go through eviction process. If they can't afford to evict them, reduce the value of the property by the cost of the eviction, but evict them prior to your ownership and get it evicted. It's $2,500. No big deal. And I guess I tell you what, if you can't buy it, you can't evict. So during the eviction process, if there is quote unquote a written lease, agreed lease that is still active and enforceable, or a lease option, then they're not going to be evicted unless there's a real big reason. And if they are evicted, then you can buy the property. So not a big deal. Just Follow those guidelines. Don't make stuff so hard on yourself, but be honest with everybody. Got to be really super honest with everybody, especially that title company in a case like this. Once you know something, disclose it. Same thing when you sell a property. Once you know something, disclose it to your buyer. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, disclose. It's been fun. Don't forget about the coaching programs going up by the end of the month. The prices are going to go up. It's only $247 a month or $11.97 for 6 months. Great stuff involved in it, man, guys and gals. We do 50 classes a month or so. We've got a huge CRM system inside of it. You can have your calls answered. There's a little itty-bitty fee for that, but you can have your calls answered by my call center, my actual call center that's in my office answering my phones. We're soon to put on a text and phone platform and the contract platform. That's just good stuff coming. If you're at all interested in real estate investing and want to learn how to do this, I've been doing it for 35 years, and I am still doing it on a daily basis. Every day we get a contract on a house to buy. So kind of cool stuff. You guys take care. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.